Prep's hydration is a revolutionary product helping athletes across many sports to improve performance and recovery. Prep is based on over 20 years of medical science, is an SA company, and is also a product that has great health benefits due to its prebiotic nature. Last week, Prep won the prestigious Innovative Product of the Year award. Amazing stuff. And they were presented by the Australian Institute of Food Science and Technology. They went to some awards over there at the Crown Casino and apparently had a very good night. For more information, go to prepshydration.com.au.
The real core message of the group is that everyone can run together, and there is a place for everyone, no matter what pace you're running. So Bevo, you want to come out? There's a place for you too.
Yeah. We might have someone slower than you.
Once again, what a pleasure it is to have Riley Cox and Izzi Batt-Doyle on the Sports Legends with Bevo.
Thanks, Bevo. It's great to be back here again.
Thank you, Bevo.
Now, since we last caught up, you've become a Commonwealth and Olympic star. Tell us about that experience, Izzi.
Yeah, look, the Commonwealth Games was amazing this year. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to compete with crowds and having Riley and my parents there to watch. It was a really awesome experience.
And the difference between the Olympic Games and the Commonwealth Games as well, like you mentioned, actually competing in front of crowds, that must have been, just such a buzz.
It was, yeah. I think the Olympics was a great experience and a pinnacle of sport to be at the Olympic Games, but it was a bit of a downer not having crowds there. And I felt this year I was actually a bit more prepared for, the big stage after having my my race last year at the Games. So yeah, the Commonwealth Games was probably a bit more exciting having the crowd, and it was just, an incredible experience to be in Birmingham, and it just really came alive for the Games, yeah.
And how does one, sorry Riley, we'll get to you in a minute.
That's right. He's used to it, it's okay.
I'll head out.
how does one prepare for a Commonwealth, for an Olympics with no crowd? Because it must be really hard as athletes or whatever it might be. I used to play footy for a number of years, and not having a crowd there, I just find it really demotivating. Did you find it pretty tough as well? Like, how do you motivate yourself for something like that?
Well, I think Riley and I both know that, for runners, we don't get big crowds out to many events. It'd probably be pretty rare to get, 1,000 people out at a stadium to watch us, whether that's here in Adelaide or Melbourne or anywhere in Australia. So we're used to not having a massive crowd, massive energy, and I think we're pretty self-motivated and internally driven. So while the crowds do help, it's not what we're used to. So I think just going to the Olympics, though, you kind of expect it to be that kind of feeling, and so to walk into the Olympic Stadium, which was so massive, and fill it with all these open seats, that experience was a bit strange just because it felt so empty, as opposed to down at Mile End, the track here, it's a pretty small stadium, so without it being full, it feels kind of, feels a bit normal. But yeah, I didn't really miss the crowd, but it just felt like it was not the experience that I'd kind of visualised in my head what the Olympics might be.
Yeah, we'll get to it in a moment in terms of like what it was like mixing with the best athletes in the world, and also the village and that sort of thing. But we better talk to Riley, otherwise it's going to fall asleep. So
chair's pretty comfy.
5 years together, you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now that's an amazing achievement, not just because it's 5 years, but also because Riley, you're Izzi's coach. You're Izzi's coach. I got that correct. Now, if I was the coach of my wife or vice versa, there's no way we'd be together for 5 years. I can tell you right now. So how do you do it? Because that must be pretty challenging, and there must have been quite a few times where you've butted heads and stuff, living together and also being in a relationship for 5 years and also being the coach of Izzi.
Well, yeah. For when I first started coaching, she was pretty keen to listen to me, but over time, you just got many other influences as well. So yeah, she chooses when she listens to me and when
selective hearing.
Yeah, and when she doesn't. So we kind of just we work things out together, work as a team, and that seems to work out quite well. We always try to make calculated decisions with what we do in life and sport, and weigh up the pros and cons, and the decision usually makes itself.
Yeah, it's teamwork. True.
And we spoke about this last time, but I want to bring it up again because it's such a great story. When you guys started dating in the early days, apparently you shattered quite a few dinners there as well. Is that true, Izzy?
It is true, yeah. I think, I don't know, I wanted to feed him maybe. He was a bit scrawny. Still is.
Goodness me.
Yeah, it is
How
true.
am I looking on camera?
No, you're looking fine, mate. So you're an athlete, so that's okay. 5 years though later, and you're still together. So obviously something's worked out there.
Yeah, I think it's the secret of long distance, 2.5 years away from each other.
Yeah, we've only spent half the time actually together, so
Yeah.
Note to self.
yeah. We think that might be a bit of a secret.
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of doing things together, you've also got a wonderful business called Runners One. Explain sort of how that idea came about, and it's going great guns. Tell us all about it, Izzy.
Yeah, so it started back in 2020 and it's grown from a handful of our family and friends to 350 runners in the community, and it's really like one big family. We have a big group that meets at Victoria Park twice a week and on the weekends, and that's kind of the core of the business, but we also coach other runners remotely across Australia and actually across the world. And yeah, we love it. We can't believe that we've been able to make running and running coaching our job, and we're just really enjoying the process and really excited for everything we've got going on with the business at the moment.
That's so cool. And how can people get involved that want to?
So yeah, obviously if you see us out at the park, if you're local around at Victoria Park, everyone's welcome to come out for a run. We have a memberships. We have a number of memberships, so we do catch up with you eventually to sign you up for a membership. But
First month it's free though.
The first month is free, so it's pretty easy to get involved. You can check us out on social media, Instagram. We have a website, www.runnersone.com.au, and when you head on there, there's a spot to send us a form submission or expression of interest to join the group, and we're usually pretty responsive with information on how to join and what we're about there. So
the whole thing about Runners One, and the name says it, is we really wanted to create a space where you could run together, whether you were an elite runner, an Olympian, or someone just starting out running, a local park runner who was just, working up to running their first 5K continuously. So the real core message of the group is that everyone can run together, and there is a place for everyone, no matter what pace you're running. So Bevo, you want to come out? There's a place for you too.
We might have someone slower than you.
Hey, I got under an hour in the Sydney Bay a couple of times, so
very
not
good.
doing that
He's got
bad.
that footy fitness.
Yeah, exactly.
You should be right then.
And speaking of running, on the weekend, finished second in the Australian Cross Country Championship, so congratulations on that, Riley.
Thank you.
Pretty muddy conditions up there at Oakbank. How'd you find the experience, and happy how you resulted in the end?
Yeah, I think, I was really happy with the result. I surprised myself a bit. Beat home a number of very well credentialed runners, and I think in the end, the challenges of cross country, and it was very different to perhaps what we normally experience, even in cross country. I mean, a lot of our courses in Australia are fairly tame, so to speak, cross country, but it's a few little mounds and bit of grass here and there. But Oakbank was, pretty about a foot deep of mud the whole way around. So it was just so much of a challenge in itself to get around the course 5 times, let alone racing the other competitors. So it was a real, battle of attrition.
That reminds me, we still haven't washed Riley's spikes.
There you go.
I don't know.
They were sitting in a bag, just completely covered in mud. You couldn't even tell what colour they are.
I might have to get a new pair. I don't know if I'll ever get them back again.
I know exactly what it's like, because I played footy at Birdwood for a number of years, and like you guys know, that the hills conditions that I remember games where there'd be no grass on the oval at all, and you just come off and like you said, Izzy, you have to basically almost get a new pair of boots because there's just absolute mud everywhere. So I know what it's like.
Yeah,
so.
I should have got the hose straight on him, but
That's
might be pretty gone now. I don't know.
Good fun.
Yeah.
And 2019 as well, you won the Adelaide Half Marathon, which is a massive achievement. How are you going sort of with 2024 with Paris? Are you close to potentially getting in the squad for that?
Look, the times I'll be aiming for the marathon. I've only done one marathon, so I don't know. I don't know my full potential yet. But the times are extremely tough to get, and I got one eye on it. But also, just continuing to improve and exploring my potential in the marathon. And if I was able to get myself up to that level, I'd definitely go all in and trying to make Paris in 2024.
Fingers crossed, mate. So, and Izzi, what's where to from now for yourself after being in the Olympics, Commonwealth Games?
Yeah, I have a lot of goals still on the track, but I'm also doing my first marathon at Melbourne Marathon in just over a month's time. So that's, a new challenge for me. I ran the half marathon, at Melbourne Marathon Festival last year, and I won that, and I set a new course record, I think by about 45 seconds. So I was really happy with my debut half marathon. Yeah. Step it up this year, do the full distance, and just kind of worked out with the timing. I've wanted to do a marathon for a number of years. So, looking forward to a new challenge. And then I'll kind of switch my focus back to the track for the National 10K Championships in December. And then we'll see what the next year brings ahead. But yeah, I've got goals for next year to kind of get towards the qualifying standards for the next Olympic cycle. And as Riley said, the standards are really tough. Like, it was tough to make the last Olympics and the Commonwealth Games this year, but they've just keep increasing the standards that you have to run. So yeah, hopefully I can hit those times and also be up amongst the best competitors in Australia and get a spot. But I think the main focus for us is always just improving and trying to be consistent and trying to progress forward each year. So yeah, always just focusing on getting a little bit better.
Oh, it's wonderful. And I heard a bit of a story the other day that you did a 33k run and you were thirsty as anything and you went to your own cafe. You're looking for a Preps drink. Again, we'll shout out to Preps, and there was no drinks in the fridge, Izzi.
I know. So Sunday was my longest run ever. It was just over 33 kilometres, and it was actually a bit warmer than it's been. So it's been so wet and rainy in Adelaide. And Sunday was the first day that it was, I think, 21, 22 degrees, and it was sunny. I was running in a sports bra. I was starting to get pretty warm towards the end of my run. I had a bit of a pickup towards the end of my run, so I was working pretty hard. I was coming back to the shop, and I just been thinking about drinking my Prep Recover the last probably 30 minutes when I was sweating it out. And then I got back and I went straight to the fridge. I walked past a couple of people and I was straight into the cafe and I looked at the fridge and it was just sold out, gone. And my face probably, I think Andrew saw my face and I was just like, you're kidding. I can't even get a Prep at my own shop.
Not a bad problem to have.
Not a bad problem, yeah. So, but luckily we had some of the Prime. So there's a Prime that you have before exercise and a Recover that you have after. And the Prime is just a higher starch content and it doesn't have the electrolytes that the Recover does, but it tastes pretty similar. So I just smashed a Prime instead and then, had another Recover later when I got home because I had some at home. But yeah, it was pretty funny. Had a bit of a laugh after it, but I was pretty annoyed to begin with.
At the time, I can imagine. Yeah, you're looking forward to this drink, and it's not there. So, and we'll get to the Runhouse in a moment because I want to get back to your own experience of the Olympics and Commonwealth Games. Did you get to come up close and personal to any of your idols, and whether it be the Olympics or the Commonwealth Games, and what was the village experience like there as well?
Yeah, so at the Olympics, it was a bit different because with COVID, the regulations at the time there, everything was pretty segregated, and going to the athlete dining hall, you were supposed to be in and out. You couldn't really mingle with other countries and other people. So I didn't really see anyone in there. I saw Ash Barty, didn't say hi to her because I was just a bit starstruck at the time. But yeah, you're walking past people all the time who you watch on TV in various sports and you're kind of but you're also like, I'm Olympian, I'm here, you're trying to have to, you fangirl a bit, but you also have to focus on your own, your own competition too and be in race mode. At the Commonwealth Games, it was a bit more able to mingle and chat to other people from other countries, and it was really cool. In both my 10K and 5K race, I got to I would say race against, but I wasn't not anywhere near her at the time. Eilish McColgan, who's an incredible Scottish athlete, she won the 10K and broke her own mother's 30-year-old record at the Com Games, and she came second in the 5K, and I got to chat to her afterwards, and I really look up to her. She's an amazing runner. She's just so gritty, and she's a really lovely person and really vulnerable and really open on social media and kind of brings everyone along for the journey. So yeah, it was cool to actually meet her and get to run against her in a race. So yeah.
What a cool story as well, and hearing people that are so down to earth, that are so good. I just love hearing those sort of things.
Yeah, it is really great to meet people like that. She's super humble and down to earth, and you do get competitors who are pretty almost above everyone else.
Yeah.
Personalities like Jakob Ingebrigtsen, who runs the 15 and 5K. He's a pretty confident and showy competitor, and then you've got the different personalities out there, and it all adds to the sport. But yeah, it was pretty cool to meet Eilish and to be able to have a conversation with her and feel you're amongst it.
Most distance runners are fairly down to earth.
We have
there's not too much not too much fame and fortune with distance running. So
they're not like Usain Bolt's with the way he carried on with his runs and stuff like that.
It's a lot of hard work. Yeah, maybe not quite as much reward.
Well, a lot of these top athletes who are, multiple Olympic, Commonwealth Games, world medalists, they probably go other places outside running and no one recognises them. It's, it's a small, probably amount of people that, see them as famous and celebrities. To a lot of the people, they're just someone who runs. Yeah.
Have you been noticing getting people asking for selfies since the Commonwealth Games Olympics?
It's a funny one because you never think of yourself as being famous or anything like that, and I'm definitely not. Most people probably don't know who I am, but
you've been surprised. Same as well.
I actually had a really funny experience after the Olympics. I was at Foodland doing some grocery shopping, and I got absolutely swarmed by a group of 6 or 7 people, and it was a few kids and their parents, and they wanted to get a couple pictures of me, and I was like, what? I'm just at Foodland, but yes, that was pretty cool. And subsequently I've seen those kids around, and I feel really humble when I get people wanting to take a photo with me or, me to sign something. I went to parkrun the other day and I volunteered, did the barcode scanning, and a lady came up to me and she'd come all the way from her regular Mawson Lakes parkrun to the Vic Park parkrun and brought her whole family and wanted to get a photo with me, and I was kind of like, what? But yeah, it's really lovely, and I really appreciate the support.
So you can't wear your Ugg boots and dags anymore because you just never know where you're going to be when people want a photo. So, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And in terms of the village as well, I've heard some great stories, and obviously things have changed a bit with COVID and what have you. But what was the meal that you had after your race? Did you smash some Maccas?
Oh my gosh, that's actually a funny story, Bevo. So my race was pretty late. I think it was 8 o'clock at night, and then you warm down, and it's 9:30. You get on the bus. Took a while to get on the buses back from the track. It was about half an hour out of Birmingham City, and I'd found this place online, pizza, open till 10:30, great. We walked there, we got there, and there was a sign on the wall saying, sorry, we are closed due to unforeseen circumstances. And it was damn it, okay, we'll find somewhere else. Literally not one restaurant was open in Birmingham after 9:30 on a Sunday night. So we went back to our Airbnb that my parents and Riley were staying in, and I literally, my post-race meal was a sandwich in a packet that I got from a vending machine earlier that day.
Oh no.
It was very sad.
It's off.
I know. I was like, this is not my pizza that I wanted.
I think they ran out of dough or something. They weren't ready for the Commonwealth Games crowd.
But in the end, I had a dairy-free Magnum and a glass of Pinot Noir, and I was a happy girl. So not too bad.
Not bad.
Not too bad.
Not quite as good as the nine Maccas they used to have at Atlanta that I used to hear about back in the day. So.
I don't know about
that. And before we finish up today, Riley, I'll ask you a question because Izzy's done so much talking today. So give her
me
a break. The Runhouse, tell us about it. How can people come along and where'd the idea come about and everything?
Yeah, so the Runhouse is, we call it a coffee shop with a runner's twist. Basically, as our Runners One community began to grow to quite large numbers, we were sort of looking for places that would accommodate us post-run and stuff like that. And
100 people.
A lot of people weren't sort of ready for a big crowd of sweaty runners to lob in their cafe. So the other side of it was because we also do retail as well, like running gear and a few accessories as well. So we were doing a lot of our merchandise out the back of my car and
full of
stuff
boxes.
Like that. And then we sort of set up a combination of retail and coffee shop, and it's close to Vic Park on Charles Street, Norwood, 38 Charles Street, Norwood.
Beautiful.
And we just opened it up, quite a unique place for runners to hang out, but we're also really we're just another coffee shop that sells really good coffee, and we use Hark beans, which we've been getting a lot of really positive feedback about. So we're working at it from a number of different angles, and really happy that we've been so well supported by the running community in SA, and also got a number of regular locals coming through as well. So things are working well.
And how'd you actually get the property? How did that come about?
Yeah, I kind of came up with the idea not all that long ago.
When Riley makes a decision or has an idea, you find that very quickly full steam ahead, and it's just going to happen, and he makes it happen. So
Yeah,
it's awesome.
so I think it was it was obviously earlier in the year, but I think it was around March that I thought, oh, maybe we need a place to sort of hang out.
When Riley had the idea, it was kind of like, yeah, that'd be nice in the future, like in a couple of years' time, okay. And then it was kind of like he'd started finding, commercial real estate and was looking at, leases that were available, and it was just a matter of kind of finding the right place that fit what we wanted, and it was pretty specific because it had to be close to the parklands and accessible for our running routes, and also have space that we could, sit outside and hang out, and also have a retail space inside.
And so I saw, we're very lucky to have a number of people that business mentors, people that work with us who share that sort of work ethic and vision to just get things done and move quickly. So we're right on to looking at all these different places, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit, what have I got myself into? Like, there's this place and it looks pretty ideal for what we're after. It's very run down. It was very run down, and it's a heritage listed building, so the frontage of it is, so has nice character. I wasn't really looking for a really modern place, but more like a homely feel on the corner there, and enough space and sort of layout for what we wanted, with a combination of sports retail and coffee, and we get to hang out there out the back as well when we're not out the front serving coffee. So yeah, so that worked out well, and then we just continued to pursue that, and every time that we came to a block in the road, just took a deep breath and went straight through it.
I missed all the construction renovations. I was overseas gallivanting, flying around the world. I just got off the plane and walked into this beautiful shop that was all renovated and done up perfectly, and Riley did the hard yards.
I think I've made more decisions in the last couple of months than I'll maybe ever have to make. So what colour do you want this? What's that? What run should I do today?
Just sore shoulders and carrying the team as well.
Seriously, yeah. I know. He's been carrying the load. Yeah. But it really was a team effort, though. We are very lucky that I think Runners won, and we have such a good support system that everyone kind of chipped in from our own families and our own group.
Well, we got so many members with different expertise, professions, skills that we can rely on, who really do enjoy what we do for them and love to offer us help. So we're very fortunate to have a community like that.
But I will say that the Runhouse, it's not just for runners. We are runners and that's what we know, but we also are trying to provide really high quality coffee and just be another place that people can come to, because kind of that area of town, there are plenty of options available, but you have to go pretty far up the Parade or Kensington Road to get a coffee. And so we're kind of providing a back streets, kind of local, nice place to hang out, get your local coffee.
That's sort of our challenge a bit as well, because we very clearly present as runners and the shop as well.
We serve in our running gear sometimes.
We've been getting a lot of positive feedback about the coffee, so the locals are really enjoying what we're doing there and what we've done with the building to really liven it up. And the sort of energy that we bring to the street has been, I think, well received generally.
Awesome. Yeah. Can't wait to come down and have a coffee with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we're always there, so I don't know how many coffees I can have in a day, but I might have a few decafs and soy chais mixed in there.
Riley wasn't drinking coffee until he became a coffee shop owner.
I'm very quickly a coffee connoisseur now.
Yeah.
Good man. There you go. Well, Riley Cox, Izzi Batt-Doyle, thanks so much for coming on the sports legends. I was about to say comedy legends of Bevo again. We've got that in my mind.
Cracked that many jokes.
Yeah, exactly. Sports legends of Bevo. So great to catch up with you as always, and keep up the great work. All the very best with not only Runners One, Runhouse, but your own personal endeavours as well of getting there for Paris 2024.
Thanks so much.
Bevo.